Gentry, please.
Gentry.
Mr. Gentry, this is Frank Sims.
Who?
Frank Sims. I've got to talk to you.
Where are you?
That's not important.
Well, it's important to me.
Look, Mr. Gentry, I know your reputation, but I want your word that you won't call the cops in on this.
How'd I know you're Sims? For all I know, you could be some kind of a crackpot.
Look, I haven't got time to argue with you. If you think I'm some kind of crackpot, then forget it. It's 9:40 now. I'll call you back in an hour and let you know where I'll meet you. I need your help, Gentry. I don't want to die.
Sims. Sally, get me Charlie Nelson on the phone, will you, please? Normally, the column I wrote had its roots in District 7, Court of Misdemeanors. And in that garden, little problems grew into big ones. I'd learned the one rule for getting along. When in doubt, call the law. I'd known Sergeant Charlie Nelson for 6 years. To me and the rest of the working press, he was an honest policeman and the kind of a friend you called when your troubles were bigger than your pockets.
Every cop in the city's got eyes for him. Why'd he call you?
He had to hang up before he could tell me.
You know where he was?
No.
4,500 men looking for him, and he rings your phone. What's your charm?
I live right.
Here's the file, Mr. Gentry.
Oh, thanks, Fred. I'll return it to you.
Too hot.
I got the Morgan file on Sims.
I can save you some reading. Sims, Franklin, WMA, 31 years, 6 feet, 1 inch, 164 pounds, eyes blue.
I know what he looks like.
Fallen twice, once for grand theft, auto. Served 2 years, 7 months at San Quentin. He was at Folsom 7 years. For robbery in the first. Parole 2 weeks ago.
He started young, didn't he?
And he's going to end that way. Now, exactly what did he say?
He said he wanted to see me.
Why?
Said he didn't want to die.
Stay away from him, Gentry. There's no reason to have your head handed to you.
I can think of a couple of reasons. I want the story. If I can talk Sims into walking up to you, I'm liable to save the lives of a couple of cops that'll try to take him.
You've been mixed up with thieves before, Gentry, and we never beefed about it. But this time is different. Neither your column or our television show is going to stand in front of us getting Sims.
I called you, didn't I?
Oh, big deal. Sims is a cop killer. We want him and we mean to have him. And if you don't stay out of the way, you're liable to wind up with your face in the dirt.
Talking loud, Charlie.
I'd like to see you stay alive. But if you get cozy with Sims, you may not make it.
Sims from L.A.?
Went to school here and up north.
Family?
Brother and sister back east. His mother still lives here. He's got a wife.
Could he go to them?
He might go to his mother's place. We've got it covered just in case he does.
What do you know about his wife?
Hazel Sims, 32. No arrests. Works in a cocktail bar in Wilshire.
Does she know what's happened?
She's scared stiff. She blew the whistle on him when he went to Folsom.
Yeah. Could I talk to her?
If you can find her. She skipped her apartment yesterday morning, didn't show up for work last night. The whole city's looking for her. Nothing yet.
Well, Sims said he'd call back at 10:40. Maybe we'll get some answers then.
If he calls, what are you going to do?
Try and make a meet with him.
Oh, no, you're not. You're going to tell us where he is and we'll pick him up.
What, and have every other paper get the story?
We'll save the best for you.
Oh, thanks a heap.
Well, I'm sorry, but that's the way it's going to be. He's not an ordinary heist man. He's a cop killer.
You've got the honor of the badge to uphold?
You know better than that. I never con you. Of course, there's something personal when an officer gets killed, but there's a lot more to it than that. There are 4 million people in this county. And right now, each one of them has an apple on his head. If Sims would shoot a man who's got a gun and could shoot back, you think he'd even slow down for a civilian? You go to see him and you're putting your head on a block. And none of the 4,500 cops can help you. You got to lead to him. We'll tell you when and where. Don't you even think about him without telling us. You understand?
I suppose you're right. I don't like it. But I guess you're right.
I'll try and see as you get a break on the story.
Look, I got some time on my hands. Can I talk to the mother?
Why?
I got a story to write. I need the background.
Her address is 2307 Shoredale Road.
Right.
You want company?
No, thanks. I'll meet you back here about 10:30, okay?
Gentry. Easy, huh? You don't write too good and your television show's bad. But don't be a hero.
You know me.
Yeah? That's why I told you.
Charlie Nelson said the house was being watched. The fact that I didn't see any policemen didn't surprise me, but the neighborhood did. Frank Sims had managed to build quite a record for himself in his 31 years. Car thief, hold-up man, and now murderer. Normally, you'd expect to find that a kid with a tag like that had come from one of the trouble neighborhoods. This time, it wasn't true. And Mrs. Sims didn't match the pattern either.
Yes?
My name is Gentry. Wonder if I might have a few words with you.
About what?
I spoke to your son, Frank, this evening.
Come in, please.
Thank you.
They're watching the house. I'm not supposed to know it, but I do. There are police all over. When?
Ma'am?
When did you talk to Franklin?
He called my office this evening.
Is he all right?
He sounded like it.
Well, sit down, Mr. Gentry.
Thank you.
Why did you come here?
Have you any idea why Franklin would call me?
I don't know why Franklin does anything.
Have you heard from him? I'm not a policeman, Mrs. Sims.
I know who you are, Mr. Gentry. You're almost as well known as Franklin.
I don't want to hurt him. I'd like to help him if I can.
It's late for that. Years late.
Have you seen him?
No,
And you haven't heard from him?
no. Franklin was a nice boy. When he was little, a nice boy. He never caused me a bit of trouble. Not a bit.
Have you heard from his wife?
I've never met her. Franklin never brought her home. Never. The police were here asking about her. I couldn't tell them. It was all her fault. She always wanted more than Franklin had. There was never enough. Always more. And when he tried to get it, she was the one who told the police. Told on her own husband.
Well, I have to be getting back to the office. If I hear of anything, I'll give you a call.
You're going to meet him?
I'm gonna try.
Mr. Gentry, I lied when I blamed Franklin's troubles on his wife. I guess I was just trying to be his mother. If you see him, be careful.
Ma'am?
Don't trust him. I'm his mother, and I'm telling you, don't trust him.
Thank you. If I hear anything, I'll give you a call.
Thank you. Mr. Gentry, if you see the policeman, ask them if they'd like some hot coffee.
Goodbye. It was something that didn't show on Frank Sims's record. A second murder. His mother's. A lonely woman in an empty house with a heart full of memories of a 12-year-old boy who never caused her a bit of trouble. I got back to the office 10 minutes early. Charlie was waiting for me. And for the next 6 minutes, time moved on cement feet.
Take it easy.
Gentry. Yeah, he's here. Just a minute. It's for you. Make it snappy, will you?
Nelson? Yeah? When? Uh-huh. Where's he now? Yeah. I'll be right over. Your date's off.
What do you mean?
Looks like they just picked up Frank Sims.
Alive?
Barely. Radio car picked him up out in Hollywood. They stopped to check. He came out fighting. He's on his way to Georgia Street Receiving Hospital. You'll be able to talk to him there. You want to come along?
You bet. Wait a minute. Gentry.
This is Frank Sims.
Yeah?
1762 Northwestern Avenue, room 250. You got that?
That's your place?
No, it belongs to a friend of mine.
Are you there now?
No, it'll take me about 10 minutes.
Well, look, it'll take me longer than that. I don't understand why it's so important you see me tonight.
Well, I need someone with me. Every cop in this town wants to kill me. I want to give myself up, Gentry. But I want to be alive to do it.
All right. All right, I'll be there as soon as I can. Bye.
All set?
You go along. I gotta make a stop on the way. I'll meet you.
Are you kidding? A story like this, you're going to pass it up?
A friend of mine's in trouble. I gotta try to give him a hand.
It's your deadline. I just hope he appreciates it.
So do I, Charlie. I didn't know who the man was the police had picked up, but it wasn't Frank Sims. Whoever it was, he probably matched the suspect's description, had no identification, and a big reason for not wanting to talk to the police. It was a mistake, but it gave me a long step toward the killer the whole state was after. I probably should have told Charlie the truth, but to be honest, the thought of a beat on the other papers and the bonus check that went with the byline was just too much.
Yeah,
My name's Gentry.
crazy.
I'm supposed to meet someone here.
You got the wrong door.
Frank Sims.
What do you want?
I think we better talk about it inside, don't you?
Look, it's a big world, mister. Why don't you find someplace else to haunt?
Where is he?
I don't know what you're talking about.
1762 Northwestern?
I'm late, mister. Shove off.
Oh, I could call the police if that's the way you want it.
You a cop.
Newspaper man.
Same thing.
Oh, do you mind if I use your phone? Hello, could you get me Sergeant Nelson of the police department, please?
Hang up.
Oh, never mind. Thank you. Forget it. You know Sims?
Yeah.
How?
I'm his wife.
Police are looking for you.
Well, that figures. But I haven't seen him. Not since they put him away. I haven't seen him, I don't want to see him, and I want it to stay that way.
You heard from him?
No.
And how did he know you were here?
Who says he does?
He called me, told me to meet him at this address.
Why does he want to see you?
On the phone, he said he wanted to give himself up.
I don't believe it.
Why not?
Because I know him, that's why. If Frank comes here, he's only got one reason, to get me. And he figures he's going to need somebody to be standing in front of him when he walks out.
Then you're not going to wait around for him.
Not on your life.
How long have you known him?
About 9 years.
How'd you meet him?
Through a friend. Blind date. Boy, that was the worst day of my life.
Didn't seem to do him much good either.
Thanks a lot. Hey, you say you're a reporter?
Yeah.
Are you gonna put it in the paper? About Frank and me?
Probably.
Have you met him before?
No.
Oh, he's a real kook. Big nothing. Got a lot of high-powered ideas, you know? But he runs on regular gasoline.
Why'd you marry him?
Oh, I don't know. Seemed like a good idea at the time. My folks were bugging me, and Frank promised me the moon on a string. Seemed like a good way out.
Did you love him?
Not for a second. He was only a door out, that's all. Well, we sure used to have some beef. He really dug hitting women, you know?
Is that why you turned him in?
Hey, you know a lot, don't you?
It's my job.
Well, then, mister, you better get out of here right now. If Frank walks through that door, neither one of us are going to make it alive.
He's in enough trouble right now. He's got every cop in town ready to kill him.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll load their guns if they need any help. You see the creep, give 'em my best, will you? Oh, yeah. And you might tell them, if they run short-handed up at the death house, I'll gladly come up and pull the handle for them. You just tell them that, huh? What are you doing here?
Gentry? I came back just to see you, Hazel.
You filled your eyes. Now back off.
How'd you know where to find her?
Oh, a chick like her makes a lot of noise wherever she goes. I owe you something. I wouldn't want you to leave without it.
You leave me alone. You hear? You leave me alone.
Take it easy, Sims.
You stay out of this till I tell you to butt in. Where'd you get this?
Green stamps.
You're wasting time, Sims. You don't have too much of that left.
I ask you where you got it.
Not from you, that's for sure.
I got no quarrel with you, Gentry. But don't you press me.
What'd you drag me into this for? I didn't come down here to watch you beat up on your wife.
Well, I'm not gonna beat her. I'm gonna kill her.
No.
Yeah, but why drag me into it?
Because I'm gonna give myself up. Right after her. I'm gonna call it quits. But I want to make sure the law doesn't start shooting before they listen. Did you tell anybody you were coming up here?
No.
Hello? No, she's not. Well, this is her husband. Who's this? You want to make that phone call, Gentry?
Take your meat hooks off of me.
Get the police up here right away. Tell them it's Frank Sims. Hazel? Sims!
Is he dead?
No.
Too bad.
That's the way you figure it, huh?
Sure. He's a lousy bum, that's what he is. Just look what he tried to do to me. You figure it out for yourself. He's a lousy bum.
You may be right. I go the other way, though.
Hmm?
Look what you did to him. And it was all over. A frightened little man with a debt to pay had made the first installment. Frank Sims was booked in at the main jail, and the San Francisco Police Department was notified. The story was written, and except for one more thing, the night was history. That one thing walked into the office at 2:26 in the morning.
I guess you figure you're pretty smart, huh?
Oh, come on, Charlie, don't get on a horse for me.
You could have gotten your head blown off. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, but I didn't, did I?
You take no credit for that.
I didn't want any. I got what I wanted.
Tell me something, will you? What would you have done if Sims only wanted a shield?
Run.
What if he was in the way?
You want the truth? Bled all over him. Come on, I got a column to file.